In the quiet hum of a Moscow apartment, amidst the rigid lines of the Soviet Union, a young boy's world was confined, but his mind was limitless. This was the world of Sergey Brin, born into a family that dared to dream beyond the Iron Curtain. His father, a brilliant mathematician, and his mother, an engineer, saw a future for their son that Russia could not offer. They saw a spark of genius, a curiosity that couldn't be contained. The decision to leave everything behind was fraught with uncertainty, a leap of faith into the unknown. It was a journey not just across oceans, but from a world of restrictions to a land of boundless opportunity. This early uprooting planted a seed in young Sergey, the understanding that to achieve something truly great, you must be willing to abandon the familiar and venture into uncharted territory. Arriving in America, the land of dreams was not an instant fairy tale. The family faced the struggles of immigrants everywhere, a new language, a new culture, a new life, built from scratch. For Sergey, this was a formative period. While other kids were playing games, he was diving into the world of computers, a gift from his father that would become his life's passion. He devoured knowledge, his mind racing ahead, always seeking the next puzzle, the next challenge. He excelled, moving through school at a blistering pace, his intellect a beacon. But this path was not without its shadows. The pressure to succeed, the feeling of being an outsider, the constant drive to prove himself. These were the silent storms he navigated. Like a young eagle learning to fly, he had to build strength in his wings against the winds of adversity, learning that true resilience is forged in the heart of the struggle, not in its absence. Stanford University. This was the crucible where fate would intervene. In the hallowed halls of academia, Sergey Brin met Larry Page. It wasn't friendship at first sight. It was a clash of two brilliant, stubborn minds. They argued, they debated, they challenged every assumption the other held. But from this intellectual fire, a revolutionary idea was forged. The internet was a chaotic, disorganized wilderness of information. They envisioned a way to tame it, to bring order to the chaos, to rank the relevance of information not by how many times a keyword appeared, but by the relationships between pages. It was an idea so audacious, so different from anything that existed, that it was met with skepticism. They called it Backrub. It was the genesis of what would become Google. In a cluttered dorm room, surrounded by towers of servers built from spare parts, they weren't just writing code. They were architecting the future, fueled by coffee and a shared, unwavering belief in their radical vision. The struggle was immense. They pitched their idea to every major internet company of the time, and one by one, they were turned away. The world wasn't ready. Their vision was too big, too disruptive. They were told their search engine was too good. It sent users away from their site too quickly. Think about that, criticized for being too efficient. It was a time of darkness, of doubt. They were on the verge of giving up, of selling their technology for a fraction of its worth. This was their storm. But like an eagle that doesn't hide from the storm but uses its powerful updrafts to soar higher, Sergey and Larry held fast. This moment of near failure was their turning point. They realized that if no one else would build their vision, they had to do it themselves. They had to rise above the clouds of rejection and doubt. With a single check from an investor who told them to make the check out to Google Incorporated, their journey truly began. It was a testament to their perseverance, a refusal to let the world define the limits of their dream. From a garage in Menlo Park, the revolution began. The name Google itself a play on Google. The number 1 followed by 100 zeros was a statement of their mission, to organize a seemingly infinite amount of information and make it universally accessible and useful. Sergey Brin was the heart of this innovation. While Larry focused on the grand vision, Sergey was the master of data mining, the architect of the systems that could handle this colossal task. He was the pragmatic force, the one who could turn abstract ideas into tangible, working technology. The culture they fostered was legendary, a place where creativity was encouraged, where failure was seen as a stepping stone to success, and where the motto, "Don't be evil," was a genuine guiding principle. They weren't just building a company, they were creating a new kind of workplace, a new way of thinking about business. It was a transformation not just of technology, but of culture itself. As Google grew from a humble startup into a global titan, Sergey Brin's role evolved. He became the visionary for Google's most ambitious, world-changing projects. From Google Glass, an early exploration into augmented reality, to the self-driving car project that became Waymo, Sergey pushed the boundaries of what was possible. He championed the moonshots, the higher-risk, higher-reward projects that aimed to solve humanity's biggest problems through technology. This is where the eagle soars highest. He wasn't content with just running a successful search engine. His vision expanded to mapping the entire world, digitizing every book ever written, and even exploring the frontiers of human longevity. He taught us that true success isn't a destination, it's a launchpad. It's the platform you build to ask even bigger questions and to take on even greater challenges. His journey shows that once you've risen above the storm, you don't just fly, you chart a course toward a new horizon. The legacy of Sergey Brin isn't just a search engine or a multi-billion-dollar corporation. It's a lesson in the power of curiosity, courage, and a relentless pursuit of a better way. His story began as an immigrant boy with a brilliant mind, and it blossomed into a force that has fundamentally reshaped how we access knowledge, how we connect with each other, and how we imagine the future. He teaches us that our beginnings do not define our destiny. He shows us that skepticism and rejection are often signs that you're onto something truly revolutionary. His life is a reminder to challenge the status quo, to embrace audacious ideas, and to have the faith to see them through, even when the world tells you it's impossible. The eagle, having weathered the storm and soared above the clouds, now glides freely in the sunlight, a symbol of what we can all achieve when we have the courage to fly. So, what is the lesson for us? Look at the challenges in your own life. The doubts, the failures, the storms. Don't see them as barriers. See them as the very forces that can lift you higher. Within you is a vision, a unique idea, a contribution only you can make. Like Sergey Brin, you must have the courage to believe in it, especially when no one else does. Your journey from a small apartment, a garage, or a dorm room can change the world. It begins with a single, powerful belief in your own worth and a relentless drive to turn that belief into reality. Rise above the fear. Embrace your inner power. The sky is not the limit. It is just the beginning. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Until next time, keep fighting for your dreams.